Fantastic Friday! How we doing, guys? Moving the chains. Back at it again. Got me feeling nicely. We got college football. We got NFL back at it. Woo! Let's go. It's Friday, people. It's the weekend. Time to party. Woo! America! Woo! So, got a lot of stuff to break down today. So, Cowboys, Micah Parsons, that whole bullshit shenanigans. I'm going to talk about the NFC East division, where I had it last year, where I think now. So I want to start off with this. So Micah Parsons, the really good, kind of overrated pass rusher, in my opinion, for the Dallas Cowboys, decided today that he's requesting a trade, and there has not been any significant moving forward pieces to getting his contract done. I was thinking that Jerry Jones is probably going to pull what he always does, which is just wait till the last minute and piss a lot of people off, have it be a distraction until the season starts, and then that's going to happen. He's probably going to do it. And now Micah today, I saw on NFL Live at the gym today that he wants completely out. He wants completely out of Dallas, and he wants the biggest contract possible. Would I give it to him? No. Because as I've said before, and I heard Coward say this, and I heard Middlecoff say this, in my eyes, I think he's a splash player. Okay? I think that's the best way to describe Micah Parsons. He's a good player. I'm not disputing that he's not. Okay? The best pass rusher in football, he's in there. Now, he's not a Max Crosby. He's not a Trey Hendrickson. He's not a T.J. Watt. He's not even a Myles Garrett. But he's a good player. But he's a splash player, right? He's kind of a bully. Like, picks on the average kids. When it going gets tough, when he plays the Niners, when he plays the Packers, when he plays the Ravens, the big boys, the Bills, he gets pushed around. We saw it against the Ravens last year at home. We saw it in that playoff game 2 years ago at home, and they were down 27-0 to the Green Bay Packers. So, I do like Micah Parsons a lot. I think he's a good player. I wish stay a little bit off the podcasting and do that in the offseason when you kind of can do that instead of going on after every game. But that's playing for the Cowboys, what you do. Jerry wants that, and Jerry endorses that. And I'll get Jerry Jones in a second because I've been very disgusted with what he's been doing. But what I'm going to talk about, the disgusting part of it for me, is why does Jerry do this? And there's a reason that the Cowboys, in the 30 years, have not been an NFC Championship game. Sorry, what? 30 years. There's been 16 NFC teams. The crappy Cardinals, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Vikings, the Lions, Redskins, Commanders, the Buccaneers, the Saints, Seahawks, Niners, Rams. They've all been, except the Cowboys. And I know why. Because it's Bucks and starts with one guy, and that's Jerry fucking Jones. And I've been saying this for the longest time. They are turning into the Raiders. Near the end with Al Davis. I've been saying that, and it stays true. And I kind of laughed today when Jerry got asked, are you going to take any power away? No, I'm good. Oh, you're good, Jerry? Okay, how have your drafts been? You're not existent free agency. You don't go get any big elite players. Yeah, results have been good. The term was, we're good. Not now. And I just, and Troy Aikman said this, and I think, I respect the hell out of Troy Aikman. Listen, we could say what we want about him as a quarterback, but Troy Aikman's always been authentic and always been real, and I've had respect for him for that. He kind of said it too, like, who's going to take the reign and say to Jerry, you know what, enough's enough. It's time. Stop talking, Jerry. Like, let's do something different. We need new eyes. That's why I think the Cowboys have been kind of where they've been. I think they're too reliant on they're so insular, they don't have a nice, like a fresh set of eyes to kind of help, right? I don't know if the Raiders are going to be good this year. I hope we are. I'm a fan. But I know deep down, like, we got different people in there, kind of different fresh set of eyes, like, not all, like, Mark Davis's buddies. Like, I kind of see a good vision. I don't see that with the Cowboys. And Brian Schottenheimer may be a nice guy. And he's been a bounce-around league coordinator guy, and you know, I was hearing today, Jerry, if there was other coaches that he wanted to go to other jobs. No, Jerry was the only one that offered him one. And nobody would offer Brian Schottenheimer a job if it was on the open market tomorrow. Nobody would. So I just think, to me, Dallas is what they've been for the last 18 years of my life. Talented but stupid. They can't get out of their own way. And, I go back to the '07 playoffs when they played the Giants. That team was stacked, 19 Pro Bowlers. I think the most in NFL history. I think the Ravens, 2019 when Lamar won MVP and they got beat at home by the Titans, that team was tied for it in NFL history. It's the same thing with the Cowboys. So until I see otherwise, until I see different results, it's insanity. And I just feel like you're bringing distractions that don't need to be there. Just get the deal done. Pay him what needs to be paid and move on. Why are you dragging this thing out? It's just annoying to me. But this is what the Cowboys do. And it's a shame, but this is just what's going to happen until Jerry Jones passes away and somebody else runs it and makes it better. Because I don't see anything, anytime, anything improving until then. So, and I also wanted to bring up the Micah Parsons things because I saw an interesting point. So, Matt Eberflus was in Chicago, as all my Bears fans know. All my Chicago family, Matt Schiffler, you guys, are Bear fans. I got family in Chicago. I saw a stat today. I think Courtney Cronin was talking about it she covers the Bears. She was on NFL Live today. I found this fascinating. So if the Cowboys were to trade Micah Parsons, they have one great pass rusher on that roster. Now, Overshown I love. He's a big, tall, freakish guy on the other side of Micah Parsons. He's a beast, in my opinion. Now, I haven't seen a lot of body of work, but the stuff I've seen, I'm like, whoa. That's, okay, yeah. I know it was against Giants, but whoa, okay. Comes up my TV screen, right? And I guess Dallas last year was 30th in the league in pressure rate. And then they were 22nd, I believe, in blitz rate, sending the blitz in the NFL. And I think a lot of people in Chicago were pissed that Matt Eberflus didn't work, but it didn't work because Matt Eberflus is so see ball, get ball, and then win with your front four. Now, if they get rid of Micah, that's not going to happen. Now, even last year with Micah Parsons, he was out for a little bit with the whatever, injury he had. I don't remember what it was. Now, what guy do you have that's going to scream like I got to stay up at night for the Cowboys on defense? And if I'm Matt Eberflus, I'm heated right now. I walk up to Jerry Jones' office and say, do not trade this fucking guy. Please don't. So, time will tell. We shall see, but it's going to be a very fascinating couple days. And Hall of Fame game was last night. Football is finally back. Let's go. So I want to touch on today the NFC East predictions. Last year, I was almost right on the money. I had Eagles, Cowboys, Redskins, Giants. Obviously, near the end of the year, it was Eagles, Redskins. They played the NFC Championship game. Giants were fourth. Obviously, they had a lot of issues last year. And then Dallas was third. So this year, I kind of have the same formula to me. I have it Eagles, Redskins, Giants, Cowboys. I flip-flopped it. So I did. The reason why the Eagles are the best roster in the division, no doubt about it. Stacked everywhere. Howie Roseman's done an incredible job at GM. Matt Hyman knows this better than anybody. The Redskins, listen, Kevin Kleiner knows this. I'm giving a shout out to you, buddy. The biggest Redskins fan I know. Now, we got to see what the Terry McLaurin thing, because if he's gone, I don't know what they do. Because he already lost Dwamie Brown to the Jaguars. They don't have much depth at that receiver position. So, I believe they're going to get that done. Kind of like the Dallas thing. It's kind of dragging on. You got to get it done before soon. And I'd feel much more comfortable paying Terry McLaurin than I would Micah Parsons, because Terry McLaurin actually shows up in division games. Okay? He shows up against the Cowboys and the Giants and the Eagles, right? He's played big games. But not the best quarterback play. So, I think Redskins are right there. Jaden Daniels is coming off an incredible rookie year. We got to see what happens. Because Cliff Kingsbury, I don't blame this on the kid if he struggles. I blame this on Cliff Kingsbury. That offense kind of gets figured out. Second year, it's kind of had that happening. Chip Kelly, that kind of thing. But I'm all sold on the Redskins. Listen, they went all in. They believe their window's right now. Kind of like Detroit last year. Push it all in. Chips middle of the table. Over the top. I'm for it. The reason why I put the Giants third, Dallas fourth, I get the Dallas fourth in a second. I think the Giants are very, everybody's shitting on them. And I understand. Brian Daboll, Joe Shane, it just hasn't worked. They did go to the playoffs in 2022, a couple years ago, and they did win a playoff game. So they're more than capable of doing that. Brian Daboll, to me, is an excellent coach. I'm sorry, but the guy won with Daniel freaking Jones, for crying out loud, to a playoff game and won in Minnesota. Minnesota was the number one seed that year. So I already know enough about the abilities of Brian O'Connell, Brian Daboll, enough to go, yeah, this guy's elite. And he could mold any quarterback and get him into shape. He did it with Josh Allen. He's going to do it with Jackson Dart, I believe, at some point. And he's just going to get the best out of everybody. He got Tommy DeVito to play great a couple years ago. They beat the Packers on Monday Night Football. So this guy knows quarterbacks. He knows the offensive skill play. Now, do I love the Giants roster in totality? Not exactly. But I love their front four. Not as great as it was on the Super Bowl teams, but they have a pretty good front four, pretty good front seven. Got some linebackers I like. They like their corners. They have a pretty good defense. Their defense can play, man. Their offense just got to play better. And I still don't get why they cut Saquon Barkley. Is what it is. They live to regret that moment every day of the week, even on Sundays, okay? But I just have a gut feeling to me that the Giants are going to be much better. I do think Daboll, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. But my gut is they keep their job. If I was the Giants, I would keep Daboll, fire Shane, bring a new GM in. Because that's, to me, what I would do. But it did make sense that both those guys are still there because they came in at the same timeline. That kind of matters when you kind of bring a new GM, a new coach in, like the Raiders, Pete Carroll, John Spike, they came at the right time, right? Nick Caserio, D'Amico Ryans came at the right time for the Texans. So that kind of does matter with the chemistry and stuff. And last but not least, I'm going to put the Cowboys. I don't see the momentum. Maybe Brian Chalmers is a good coach. I don't know. I just have a lot of doubt. Dak coming off the injury. The Micah Parsons contract, that's kind of weird. Their line should be better. It's always, the Dallas does a good job of drafting offensive lines. There's about three teams in this league. Packers, Patriots, Cowboys always draft offensive lines well. Probably Ravens I'll throw in there too. Max Lawson, give a shout out to you. So I just don't trust the Cowboys right now. I think there's too much weirdness going on there. The Micah Parsons thing. The division's getting better. Dallas had a 3-year window where they were crushing it against the Redskins and Commanders, getting a good, easy 4 wins. 6 wins there. But now I don't. I do not see them getting a bunch of wins against the Commanders or the Eagles. I just don't think the roster's on that level yet. And I think it's going to be a long time. So that's all I want to talk about tonight. I hope you guys are doing well. Stay tuned. Got a lot more juicy stuff coming up in terms of football, in terms of stuff coming up. Adios. Fantastic Friday. Godspeed.